Test, test, test. Good morning. If it's morning where you are. Super early here. 7:11 a.m. Where today is January 6th. It's Wednesday. So, oh wow, we came to the tick. As you can see right here. Whoa, we get it. Alright, we're in the trade. This is an interesting one. Curious to see how this one turns out. Yeah, so okay. Oof. It's gonna step us out. Okay, so in the minute chart, you had this spike up, and so this spike up doesn't really look like something that people are going to trade back. It looks like, in my opinion, the market's going to keep shooting up. But I thought this level of resistance was going to be something that people are going to trade against. It just looks like, but not. It's not necessarily a range at that point. It's a spike up. It's a couple pushes and then a turn down. If anything, we should have done a 5-point entry. I think we still can, actually. Let's give it a shot on a 5-point entry. So it's a low 50, so a high 50 right here. It may not work, but essentially it looks like prices are going there, so you probably want to sell here, actually. Yeah, you wanted to sell there. So it looks like prices are going to stop these people out, so selling there is actually the best option. Or a 5-point entry. The reason a 5-point entry works is because if it bounces down, then it looks like it's going to go in that direction. So yeah, 5-point entry would have also been pretty good. I just realized I was on the minute chart. Oops. But selling there was still the better option because it looks like the market's going to keep pushing up and stop all those people out. So shorting there is actually the best option. So this was our signal bar. We had to order in one tick above it, but it looks like it triggered light. Or did we have it one tick above it? Pretty sure we did. Nice. We got the scalp. I didn't record it. I was took on my phone because I thought it was gonna take a while, but then it just shot up. So we got the scalp. Nice. Good trade. So essentially what this is, you have this spike up like this, and now at this point right here, it looks like the market's gonna shoot down here and correct all this. That's it. That's all that trade was. It looks like the market's gonna shoot down, and so going on a second entry long is actually the best option, or going long, not necessarily a second entry long, just going long in general. It looks like it's going to be the best option. And so you have that swing high first entry, your signal bar is that red bar, push it down first, then push it up. And obviously buying there is the best option because look how high that's going, man. Pretty good trade. This strategy is going to be very difficult to use because I'm worried that eventually we're going to get used to the way the market is actually supposed to go. And like we'll get hopefully good at it, but hopefully it doesn't end up being like, oh, we know the market's going to go this way, but not everybody knows it's going to go that way. You know what I mean? So yeah. I'm going to record this trade. I'll just explain it real quick. We have a swing high first entry and a second entry. I could be very, very wrong. I could be very, very wrong. So I'm not even going to say what I'm thinking. But obviously you see my order there already, so it's probably no way of hiding it. Okay, so essentially what we have here is this strong uptrend. If we take a look at the minute chart, this is the thing that I'm always using to take my trades. It just looks like the market's gonna correct here and keep pushing up because of the strong uptrend that we've been on all day. So in this case, it looks like it should correct, but hold on to those words. This might be not true. That's just maybe. Just take that with a grain of salt. Maybe. Okay, cool. So yeah, it just looked like the market was gonna drop, do a drop, and then just push right up. The reason being is because you have, so I'll take all this with a grain of salt. Maybe, but essentially you have these strong uptrends, and people are gonna buy here because they know that we've been on this strong, crazy, massive uptrend, and so maybe they will be buying that spike right there. The reason I say maybe because we might get stopped out right now. Yeah, I have the minute chart on my other screen, so that's the thing I use to decide. So yeah, pretty good trade. I think so. Hopefully. So hopefully that was clear on what I was thinking at least. Oh god. Oh gosh. Oh god. Okay. Okay, come on. Yes. So good trade. It just looks like, as you can see, that's a strong spike. It's hard to imagine. So the way I do it is to just think about what would the market look like if it did that. Does that look something natural? So essentially you have that, right? And then what if, so I'm trying to make this look as nicely as possible. It's not that nice, but yeah, what would that look like? that doesn't look like a plausible thing because it's such a skinny like thing. But what does look possible is this happening, correcting, and shooting up because you have been on this massive uptrend, and these highs technically still need to get tested. And so you can imagine a ton of people buying, especially with a spike that fat when it dropped that quickly. So a ton of people are going to be buying there, and obviously that was a pretty good trade. So nice. Got to make sure to switch back to the tick chart we've been using. All right, we're in the trade. Oof. Gosh darn it. Okay, so it looked like the market, I thought, because of these lows, so essentially the market looks like it's gonna keep pushing up. The reason I'm saying this, even though we lost, uh, it's because we have to take into consideration, even though there you have this spike here, not everybody's gonna go for that correction. If you kind of just like think about what the market looks like it's going to do, it looks like it's actually gonna keep pushing up just because you've been on this strong uptrend. You have that lower low. I mean, you have this low, and then just higher lows all the way through. And yeah, the market looks like it. Hmm. I'm trying to think. Yeah, so it just looks like the market's gonna keep pushing up. You have this strong leg here, and then you have that low here. The market's gonna do a push down, and it you, the lows here is a strong reason for people to be like, hey, this might be a good place to shoot off of. And it just generally looks like it's gonna keep pushing up because you have this spike up, and you have that test there, and then you couldn't even test it again. You barely tested it. As you can see, like if you just draw that across there like that, you have that horizontal support. What's a vertical support? Yeah, that support right there, and you have that spike, and it just looks like the market's gonna end up doing this. And essentially, people are gonna try to buy their way back up to the highs. So if you just take a look at it like this, So then yeah. So after bouncing off these lows, I guess resistance and support levels, people are going to use significantly, and for a reason to correct big moves. So you have this here, and then people have that support there, and the market looks like it might actually keep pushing up here because people are trying to trade back to the highs over here or over here. You do have these lows kind of here, and so people are going to try to buy. If you're taking I think that's what it was. If you take a look at it, at the market as a whole, it looks like the market has the opportunity to correct all the way out back to the top. So pulling out this far back, especially on the minute chart, you can see that there's a bunch of room to keep pushing up on the higher for this whole thing to correct. As you see, it's that W pattern again, which is kind of crazy to actually see play out in such a big picture. So yeah, that was the better trade. You have to take a look at the entire picture, see what it's doing, because a lot of people are not specifically trading on these smaller tick charts. People have 5-minute charts, and that can sometimes influence it greatly. That's what I think, so at least. But yeah, people are gonna try to go long there off of that triple support. So yeah, I guess you have to play both the short term, what it looks like short term, and what it looks like long term. I'm thinking if I would have took the exact same trades here, had I known the market was supposed to keep pushing up on higher. But I think the main takeaway is that low right there, and that spike right there. People would be playing that essentially. Got in a tick light. There's a swing low, and it breaks lower right there, barely by a tick, literally by a tick. Swing low, first entry, second entry. I'll explain the trade if I get the chance. There's a lot of pressure there. It looks like we're gonna get stopped out. Yeah, so we should have bought here, and the reason being is because you had this strong spike down. I thought for sure that people would buy this thing, and that would be the most obvious thing to do. But in all honesty, it does look like the market's going to keep pushing down. So buying there is actually the best option. It looks like it's going to have a little bit of a correction, and as soon as it started consolidating, I had a strong gut feeling that damn, a ton of people are actually going to end up buying, selling this thing, and so that's what pushed the market right back up. So you got to be careful for that when, especially when it consolidates like that. Yeah, and that's the thing too. I thought it looked like the market was gonna go keep pushing down, but I thought for sure that a ton of people would end up trying to buy the spike. But in all honesty, it does look like the market's gonna keep going in that specific direction. Oof. Dang. So in this case, no setup here, but just saying, the market's going to be pushing down here, and it didn't do it right here. It kept pushing down, so people were convinced this market was going to keep going down. That pushed the market right back up. Just wanted to say that. If you're trying to be like double bottom, double bottom, double bottom, it's not. It is a double bottom, just not the way people had planned it to be. And so, yeah, that's why it actually ends up working out. Hopefully we're not in this trade for too long. I was trying to say that as a meme, but like hopefully we're not trade this trade for too long and just spikes up. It stops this out. That was debating whether to say it. Okay, but that was kind of funny. But we got the scalp though. And so the reason we sold here is because we're totally guessing. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. It's because the market looks like it's gonna keep going straight up. So you have to think about these lows that are here. I'm gonna copy and paste from the minute chart, and it's hard to or difficult to even like to like have the entire minute chart on here and explain. So after that spike up, the market just looks like it's going to keep going up and back to the other side. Essentially, if you have that strong spike, people have been waiting for that, especially since it's like a double bottom. People are now trading that long and trying to push the market way back to the tops over there. So yeah, maybe we just got super duper lucky because we just got a buy the tick, by the way. Actually, hold on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you could have done one ticker. So I didn't notice the slight uptrend here. Did it pull back far enough yet to 75? It didn't pull back here yet. At least I don't think it did. So maybe we still got an opportunity to enter this trade. Nice. Easy peasy. It almost looked like our order triggered that. Nice trade. And a swing high, first entry, uh, first entry, push down, second entry. This is your signal bar right here. We got in a little late, as you saw, and so it just looks like the market's going to keep pushing up at this point. If you take a look at the minute chart, it has that low, that low, that low, that low, and it just looks like it's going to make a crazy spike on up soon. So that was a good trade, and especially since you came off these lows and thinking about people who are trying to trade back to the highs over here. So using that, like, it just looks like the market's going to shoot up because every time it pushed down, the market pushed it right back up, and those lows are having a strong hard time trying to make a new low. And yeah, just you're getting higher highs as well. So yeah, pretty good trade. Market's gonna open in a minute. Can we get in this trade before the market opens? Oh no, the market's gonna open. It's still gonna be in this trade. So essentially, you have a swing high in the first entry, a second entry, and take a look at the minute chart. It looks like the prices are just gonna keep pushing on up here, and the market's open. And a couple seconds, 5 seconds. Oh my god! 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 Oh, nice. Oh, I knew it. So yeah, it just looked like the market was gonna keep pushing up there. Damn, we got it in just like as soon as the market opened, I guess. These bars are gonna form really fast. So now we're at 450, probably less than that, significantly less than that because of after T's and taxes. Fees and taxes. Yeah. But essentially what you had down the minute chart, it just looked like the market was going to keep pushing on up there. Maybe because of those higher lows and stuff like that. And yeah. This market's kind of crazy, but I think we're good right here. And then eventually it looked like the market was going to keep pushing down here. Well, it's all happening on the same bar, on the 830 bar, because it's still 830. So essentially everybody's just started selling, and that's what shot this market right to the sky. So on the minute chart, it's hard to decipher what the market looked like it's going to do, because as you can see, so we kind of have to decide on the 950. Could switch to like a second chart, but lazy. I don't know. I just we did this yesterday, just using the 950 tick chart instead of a whole lot of minute chart, and it worked out pretty well, I think, for the trading the Nasdaq playback of yesterday. Okay. Nice. Got in the wrong tick. That was pretty dang tough. So essentially, it looked like the market was gonna correct. Super basic. You have these patterns that look just like this, right? And you have, I mean, every time you shot down, you shot right back up. So you can imagine 10 people. Hey, look, it's another shoot down or another spike down. We can buy this thing back up, and so everybody starts buying there, and selling there is the best option. Actually, maybe we should do it non-obvious. Jeez. So non-obvious would not have worked. We did a 1 tick entry and got super duper lucky. Essentially, it's a strong downtrend. We did break below that, but we tested it here before, and it could kind of be put as a range, but it's a strong downtrend essentially. Oh, why do I keep doing that? It's a strong downtrend essentially, and that's your first opportunity to enter there. Yeah, so pretty decent trade, super lucky trade, that's for sure. You might have gotten stopped out if you would have sold there using our strat. Looks like we have another setup, but it might be too late to enter or make a decision. So selling there was the best option, but we'd have to take a non-obvious because there's no trend in the upward direction. So now it just looks like the market's gonna have an opportunity to have a strong spike up. So we can imagine a ton of longs coming in. It doesn't necessarily look like the market's gonna shoot on down unless we do get that spike up. Then we can imagine a ton of people trying to go short because of that spike. That's just all in my opinion, of course. Nothing's actual fact. Still our signal bar, unless it breaks higher first. And all right. This market is moving so damn fast. Man, I wish I had a second entry here. I would have bought right there if we got the trigger. Just because it looks like the market was going to keep pushing down. Don't forget about these lows, guys. Don't forget about the lows. When I say guys, I'm just talking to myself. No second entry, unfortunately. Because it does look like the market's going to push down, which might just push the market straight up. Oh, there's your first entry. Not really a spike just yet. Now it's a spike. Nice. I got a little worried there because I thought I was just going to spike on down, but then it clicked in my head. A ton of people are still trying to. the thing I was worried about is the fact that people are still trying to trade back to those highs. But if you get that spike there and then into that like resistance, people already know there's people trying to trade back into the spikes or try to trade back into the highs. So they're going to shorten, especially with the level of resistance right here. People are going to short mainly because of that level of resistance. And if you, it doesn't look like much here, but if you look at the minute chart, it's a double top. So people are going to try to sell here, especially with that strong uptrend. So that was the main reason we ended up going long there. So far, it benefited us because I had to reach our stop until way over here, and we would have got that there. If not there, then the next bar, or that bar, even that bar. So yeah, decent trade. I still don't think it would have hit our stop quite yet. Yeah, not yet. So that was it's 2, 4, and we're 5 points and a couple ticks out. So yeah, I think the buy there was the best trade because it's a spike, especially on the minute chart. The minute chart really helped with that one. So having that out is extremely crucial. Because here you can kind of see it. You're probably playing more off of that guy, but a ton of people are more playing off of this, especially if you look at it on the minute chart. So yeah, pretty good trade, not too bad. Also missed a double top first entry, second entry, where you could have went long because you're still trying to go long because people are still trying to short this thing. So now, yeah, talk about a level of support. Come on, let's talk about it, guys. So in the consolidation, it looked like the market was actually going to keep pushing up, and that's what pushed the market right back down. So it did look like the market was going to correct the entire thing. I just went against my gut, or just went with my gut. And don't go with your gut. So here's the minute chart. It looked like the market was going to keep pushing down. I mean, look at that thing. It was a huge spell, and especially on this guy, it looked like the market was just going to keep on going down. So buying there is actually the better option. Keep going down because he just came off those highs essentially. So buying there is actually the best option. Nice. Got sweaty there for a second. So it looked like the market was going to keep pushing down, especially on the minute chart. I know it doesn't look like much, but it just looked like the market was going to keep pushing down because it had a little bit of a correction, especially with that bar looking like that. That bar changes really quick, but the way the bar looked at that moment, in particular time, it just looked like it was going to keep pushing down, and buying there was obviously the best option because look at that crazy spike up. Yep. Not too crazy of a spike, it's just like that. I was on this, but this, yeah. This feels like the most like delusional trading ever. I'm thinking about it like 5 months from now, and I'm looking back at this, and I'm like, man, that guy was delusional. Trading based on the way the market looks. Oh gosh, you need help, friend. I can already see myself saying that to myself. Look at these. That's a nice little shave. And that doesn't really match up there, but that's interesting. That's interesting. That's interesting. That's interesting. Oh, come on. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Let's go. Hit our goal for today. So that's where we would cut it. Take all the fees and taxes, whatever, make up for our losses. But yeah, that would be it. Do I want to call it in? Or do we keep going? We keep going. So essentially, we had the swing high first entry, second entry, and we bought there for three big reasons. Reason number one: if you take a look at the minute chart, it's a huge spike. People like to trade the spikes back down, and being in all this consolidation, you're thinking about, oh, we got to come back to the highs at some point. And so when you get that spike up, people are gonna chase that. They're gonna buy market. And that's gonna really push the markets back. And then once they started to see it come back, people are gonna start selling. And yeah, so essentially, okay, scratch that first part. People are gonna just sell back into a spike. So people see that spike, people want to sell back into it because they're supposed to trade those spikes essentially. And reason number two is the fact that we just broke out of this level of resistance right here. And when you break out a level of resistance slash support, people like to trade back into it and to come back to the other side. And so, yeah. So that's another reason to go long, because everybody's going to go short for that reason as well. Another reason to go long is actually no, that was the only thing. Yeah. Okay. I was going to say people like to trade back to the other side, but that would be a reason to not take it. But yeah, so people were going to trade that spike. So going long there, a little bit of a gamble, but we like that trade because a ton of people were going to try to trade back into that level of resistance slash support. And also to spike. So with those two things, not three things, those two things, that was a good reason to go long. Yep. This nice. I was gonna say this might backfire on us, but so essentially, if you look at the minute chart, it has this topping pattern here, and people are thinking about the highs over here now, and now people see the topping pattern. Okay. Oh, I just sneezed like 4 times. And people see this topping pattern here, but people are still looking for an opportunity to go long because you've just been on this strong uptrend and this strong uptrend. And now people are thinking about the highs over here, and people are picturing this topping pattern into like a spike, kind of like something like this, but then a push on up, like if it kept pushing up. Oh, like this, like that, this, and then a spike up. So that happens quite often. We can imagine a ton of people trying to buy there, trying to push the market back to the other side, because also it's into these resistance. I didn't even notice that. Wow. Yeah, it might have been a different story if I saw that. But essentially, that's what people are seeing. And they're seeing these highs here. This is the minute chart, by the way. And they're going to try to trade the market back to the other side. So going short there is actually the best option, especially if you look at it like this, because that's your first opportunity to go long if you're trading a tick chart. And so you have that strong uptrend. It just seems like it won't stop going up every time you get a second entry. So you get this strong pullback here. People are like, oh, now we've convinced enough people. And so it just looks like the market's going to keep going up there. And selling right there is actually the best opportunity. And usually with these topping patterns, even though it's in the textbook to be like pick those tops when it rounds like that, but round it off here, sort of. But people still trade against that because there is a slight chance that people are gonna try for that spike, that next spike, for that two-legged move. Yeah, and so that's the reason these kind of play out, is because people trade against them essentially. Yeah, I think so. That's just my opinion, of course. But the main thing to keep in mind in that trade was that people were trying to trade back to the other side, and they saw that topping pattern. They're like, "Oh, we've convinced enough people this market's gonna keep pushing like this, like it's a topping pattern." But so they're gonna go like, "Oh, we're gonna go long now because this looks like the market's gonna go down, so let's fool them." And people start buying because they think the market's gonna come back to the other side. There's resistance there. Maybe they were trying to stop them out. I think we actually broke above it. Yeah, we broke above it just by a hair, so people were buying out of there. Yeah, that was the overnight highs. Not necessarily, actually. But yeah. I was getting my coffee. You could buy here in a swing high first entry, second entry. It's interesting. You could take second entries up until a certain point, and then you just do the opposite thing. Wow, this is the dream I always had, to be like taking second entries. That if you were a pattern day trader, day trading that you would be taking these second entries all the way, and when you took it here, it just reversed on you. But knowing exactly when to do it, not thinking about, oh, is it gonna work this time? Is it gonna work this time? Don't think like that. Just what does the market look like? It's doing it and trade off of that. But people were trading patterns, and it just reversed on them, bro. My dream was to always be like, no matter where that pattern showed up, you would know which way it was going. Man, that's an awesome dream. Awesome goal. Missed the second entry here. I'm working on the Amazon business. Looks like you would want to go short there. And it's a pretty good short too. Because if you take a look at this, does the market look like it's heading up? Because you have these higher lows, and it looks like it try to make that new low, try to correct, and it looks like the market's just going to push back to the other side. So shorting there is actually the best option. Swing low first entry, second entry. That would have been a good trade. Just realizing we don't really take 5-point entries anymore, which is interesting. But I do believe that in this case, it would have been a nice one. You had a swing high, first entry, second entry. If you take a look at the minute chart, it's a double bottom. And we knew that if the market started to push up there, we could imagine a ton of people buying. So a 5-point entry would have actually worked there. That's an interesting one. Actually, hold on. 2, 4, 5. No way, it wouldn't have. I thought it would, but your entry won't be right here. I thought it'd be like way up here. Never mind. No 5-point entries. Nice. Easy scalp. Damn. Doesn't get any better than that. It just comes to your order, pulls right back in a heartbeat. So essentially, we have this swing low, first entry, second entry, and the market looks like it's just going to keep pushing down. If you look at it like this is the minute chart, and it just looks like the market's just going to keep pushing down, because you get these highs, then push up, the push down, the push up, the push down, push up, and then the push down. And we can imagine a ton of people shorting this thing because it just looks like it's going to go in that direction. It's kind of difficult to explain, but hopefully I can explain it that way. I can remember it and just don't get used to where the market is actually going, but get used to the fact that this is what people are thinking. This is where it looks like it's going. So it looks like the market's going to push down here, push up, then push down again, especially after that strong push up. People are not going to be buying here. It's hard to believe that the market's going to shoot up there, so people don't do that. And instead, after making that high in the breakup, it looks like the market's actually going to keep pushing down. So then we couldn't do a one-tick entry. Because there's no like strong downtrend. It's very sideways, and it's a spike down, but it's not a downtrend. You've been on an uptrend, so it's very like a non-obvious second entry. Either way, you could have done a one tick, but I wouldn't do it here. I would do a non-obvious on a swing low first entry, second entry, and yeah, it's more upwards and sideways in my opinion than it is on a downtrend. So non-obvious 3-point entry, very good trade. Mama texting me. It's good. And stopped out. Jeez. We got a lower high here. People are shorting. Dang it. We ended up getting a lower high on the tick chart, the minute chart, and that was going to be everybody selling right there. So people are going to be picking those spikes. Every time you pushed up here, it pushed right back down. Pushed up here, pushed right back down. So buying there is actually the better option on that spike. Yep. Yuppity, yep. On that second entry, I should say. This is their signal bar. Pushed up first, and pushed lower. Come on, baby. Let's go. Okay, so in this case, we had the spike up. We had a swing low, first entry, the market pushed up, then it gave us a second entry. And so it looked like a double top, essentially. That's all it was on here. As you can see on the minute chart, swing high first, double top. There's a test there and a test there, and it just looked like the market was going to keep pushing down. Every time we had a spike up, it pushed right back down. So we can imagine a ton of people actually going short there, and that's what's pushing this market up right now. And we had to take a non-obvious because it's not an obvious one, obviously. So 3-point entry right there. We actually got filled the tick lit. Oh no, we got filled at the tick. Nice. So good entry, good trade. Alright, I'm gonna leave it at that and we'll call it a day. And actually maybe we'll keep trading. I don't know. Good job, mi amor. Oh, I didn't know you were doing a quiz. Look, you're on the last lesson for that chapter. Last trade was way over here. Doesn't look like there was too much going on here. Maybe a little something here, a little something there, maybe a little something there, a little something here. Maybe missed about 5-6 trades. Not too bad. Alright, we're in the trade. Oh, maybe we should have done a non-obvious. I'm not sure why we entered a one ticker there. But it works out either way. I guess you could have done a one ticker because it's your first opportunity. It's not necessarily a strong downtrend. Okay, do math, mi amor. Okay, so we had this swing high right here, first entry. Let me zoom in real quick. Swing high, first entry, second entry. We sold right here. Oh, we got it just by the tick actually. So buying there was actually the better option, I think. Where would our non-obvious entry be? 0, 2, 4, 5, and 2 ticks. Yeah, we already got stopped out on a non-obvious. So buying there was the best option. The reason you would buy there. Okay, Mima.
8 plus 8, 19 plus 19, 84 plus 84.
Okay. And so it looks like the market's going to end up shooting back down here. I just thought people would try and trade back to the highs, but that high wasn't tested for a very long time. So it is a topping pattern. So selling, we can imagine the market selling off there. So buying there is actually the better option, even though we did get the scalp. Luckily, buying there is actually the better option. As you saw, we originally had a buy order there. We switched to a sell because I thought people would try to trade back to the highs. But as you can see, that's a good topping pattern. It's a head and shoulders. People like to trade those, and it just looked like the market was just going to reverse there. So yeah, pretty good trade, I think. Okay, go knock because mommy's in the bathroom. Nice. Okay, so we had a swing high first entry, second entry. And okay, so a couple things here. The market, again, looks like the market's going to keep pushing up here. You had this swing high, the first entry, second entry, kind of that W pattern that we've seen a lot. And people just know is a thing. And people are trying to push the market back to the highs. Let me just copy and paste what I have here in a minute chart on my other monitor. Oops. So right there, as you can see. And that was tested right here. People are trying to trade back to those highs. And you've been on this uptrend, and then the market, besides that, the market just looks like it's going to keep pushing up because you have these higher lows and higher highs continuously. And you have to spike up a strong pushback that will trick enough people to say in the back of their mind, oh, the market's going to go this way, and it's going to convince a lot of people. And they're thinking, oh, it looks like we're going to be able to trick people that the market's going this way because of that spike down. And so they're actually going to go long. And they're thinking, little do they know, they're in their heads that we're going to come to the top. And so a lot of people, we probably are, and a lot of people are going to take that second entry going long. It's also your first opportunity to go long after all this stuff going on. And so the market just overall looked like it was going to keep going up. So shorting there is actually the best play. So good trade, good trade. Switching to the 700 tick chart here. Okay. Yeah. Oh, wait. Initially I wanted to buy. I don't know why I had a sell order. But we could still be very, very wrong.
Hey Arvid, did you notice that when we subtract the number in the ones place, we end up at 10?
I sure did, Kitty. In the number 17, 7 is in the ones place. So to turn 17 into 10, subtract 7 from it. I bet our good friend Scott Sinclair can tell us how we can use this knowledge to help us solve problems. Arvid, Kitty, pleased to see you. I love because I can use strategy solving exactly problems. Let's say Arvid is holding 13 to lose. First, my five.
Hey Arvid,
This is going to be an interesting note, interesting trade, and a good note to take from. Either way it goes, either we get this or we don't. It's a very good note taker to learn a lot to learn from this specific trade. And it'll be a good turning point, not turning point, but a very curious thing to know what happens in this, because there's two very opposing things in my head right now, and I'm going with this thing in my head, so to see it play out is going to be very interesting. I'm not going to say until we get our scalp or get stepped out, whichever comes first. Oopsie.
7.
Alright, we're in the trade. This is going to be an interesting note to learn from if we get stopped out and or if we get the scalp. Nice. Let's go. So that was a very interesting note. So you had to spike down, and our rules say sell it, right? If you got a spike, 9 times out of 10 you're supposed to sell there, but not in this particular case. And the reason why is because the market, we're sticking to this crucial rule. If the market looks like it's going to go in that direction, go the opposite way. And as you can see, we have this topping pattern, and the market actually looks like it could just drop right here, and that is very plausible, more plausible than this to happen. So we see that movie, and people have seen this before and seen this stance before, and that market tends to drop right there. So if that market looks like it's gonna drop, and in this case at this point, even right here, looks like it's getting ready to just drop, go the other way, buying there is the best option. So the other thing that we were opposing to, which was the swing high first entry, and selling because it's a spike and it's your first opportunity to go along and trading back to the other side, but no, that's incorrect. Go 100% based off if the market, well, 98% based off of if the market looks like it's going in a particular direction, in this case going short, it looks like it's going down, and it looks like it's just going to drop, it's not going to make it to the highs, and this very much does look like it, especially right here. It does have a little bit bottoming pattern, which I was a little bit worried about, but yeah, so stick with it. If the market looks like it's going to drop there, buy. And buying there is obviously the best option. We got the scalp, and more than enough of this than a scalp. It's a good trade, good trade. This is our signal bar, by the way, especially on the, since we're trading the 700 tick chart now. I think we could have done this, but it's 11 a.m. now, so Good switch. Man, good trade.
I'm gonna say something easy. What is 14 minus 5?
This is gonna be another interesting note taker here. Very interesting note here. So right now I'm going completely based off the way I think the market's gonna happen, which I'm not gonna mention at the moment. I just want to get this recorded. I'm trading based 100% based on the minute chart over here on the right hand side, my left hand monitor. Oh, okay, just leave it right there. Actually, yeah. You already triggered on the minute chart, but let's see what happens anyway. Hopefully I can stay focused on this trade to see what's going on actually. This can be interesting. This might be one of those scenarios. If we get this trade, we're gonna start day trading next week. Day trading live, I mean.
It's the same as 11 minus 1.
I'm already thinking about what my reaction if we do get this trade and my reaction if we don't get it. Okay, close it now because it's gonna be mommy's turn. Oh gosh, you okay?
Yeah.
Did you finish your yogurt?
Yeah.
Oh, can you pick it up and throw it in the garbage for Dado? Oh, I got it. You got it? Let me see. You finish? You can. Here, and put this one in the sinking mode. And un poquito más school, okay? You're done with your computer. So I'm not excited that we got that trade. I'm excited that we were able to read that we got this. It clicked. How often do we get that many trades in a row? So here again, it's essentially the exact same thing as the other trend. It looks like the market's gonna drop, and drop, I mean drop. Like it's just gonna, do that like right there, and the market's pushing up. Now it's pushing down. Looks like the market's just getting ready to drop. It's that topping pattern. So buying there, I went against a lot of my gut instinct to sell, but good thing we didn't because the market looks like it's going to drop and just go against that. Just go against that. Buying there on that second entry. Oh, beautiful trade. Such a good trade. Man. Let's go. All right, I think that's going to be enough trading for today at least. I think we've pretty much got it. Some good trading, Here it looks like the market was going to shoot up because you have a ton of support here. Looks like the market's ready to shoot on up. It's hard to imagine the market shooting down straight. So you're kind of imagining spikes almost like, yeah. So yeah, I think that's a kind of helpful thing too, to imagine which spike would look best or maybe not. which way does the market look like it's going? That could be a variety of things. So that you have that. It's actually no swing high. You have a swing low first entry, second entry, and actually selling there because it looks like the market's gonna be pushing up right here because you're done with those crazy moves after imagining that the market was gonna drop. Looks like the market's actually gonna start moving up here, and selling there's the best option. So good trading today. I mean, amazing trading. I'm sorry, but like, come on, that was the best day we've had in a very long time. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we're trading based on the way the market looks, and if it looks like it's going in a specific direction, go against it. It's as simple as that, using scuff trading, second entries, and stuff like that. So good trades, and I'll catch you next time. Today was January 6th, so this is by far one of the best days we've ever had. I don't even know how many winners we had. It's crazy. It's all that good trading, man. Good trading. At least 10, because more than 10, because we only scalped $7.50 every trade, and we had 72.50. So at least 10. And I know we were at negative at one point. So good trading today. Amazing. All right. Peace out.